So the market is currently pushing for new all-time highs. Within tonight's analysis, I'm going to be preparing you to trade the best setups at the best prices. I'm going to be doing an in-depth price action analysis on ES, NQ, SPY, Triple Q, and the VIX. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to be teaching you the strategies that we ended up using on Friday with all of the trades combined to make over a 1,000% profit return day trading SPY and SPX option contracts. I'm going to be walking you through those trades towards the end. First things first, let's get into the in-depth price action analysis. So in terms of the ES, this is what I wanted to bring some awareness to. This daily chart pattern, it's the same exact pattern on NQ as well, is very, very bullish. This is a very bullish technical pattern. And based off of the overall history of this daily chart pattern, along with how ES has been trending up, what it's revealing is it's revealing that it's going to be an overall bullish day and we can have a potential pullback at some point where into the close we give back some gains. Now, obviously, as we're pushing for all-time highs, it's going to be a bit more difficult in terms of making this video, a day before in advance, in a sense of where that potential all-time high can be. But I'm going to be walking you through some potential strategies that you can potentially use on where to potentially buy puts. But the main overall focus as well is going to be on the overall bullish trend to buy call options and to be going long. So in terms of the ES, this is a very strong bullish daily chart pattern, very strong bullish trend, very strong bullish signal. And what's confirming this bullish daily chart pattern right here, this is what it looks like right here. This is very bullish. What's confirming it is the gap up. We're already getting the gap up. So in terms of the levels, where it's going to try to bounce first, where you can buy calls, so if we retrace back to these levels, these would be the best levels to consider going long for a day trade. So in terms of those main levels, these are going to be the overall levels, right? So what I wanted to point out here, very, very clear, is going to be the following. Is going to be this overall range. This is going to be the main range. And I'm going to break down, we're going to do this about a 1 minute chart in this particular situation. So this is going to be the main overall moves to be watching. The previous closing price right here, 6220.75. This is going to be one of the best levels to be going long heading into tomorrow if we retrace back to that overall price. Now, in terms of another key level of interest, it's going to be this 6226 right here. This is a very strong overall break and retest level, very strong overall break and retest level. That overall zone. You can keep an eye on 6229 as well. That's going to be another interesting break and retest zone. Now, if we go a little bit more macro on the 30-minute chart, these are two strong levels where heading into this week, it's likely going to bounce first and you can look to go long for the day trade, for the scalp. 6220, already mentioned this one, the gap close reversal, the break and retest zone, this zone right here, and this level right here. I would consider this as well an auto buy zone. This pattern is a very bullish signal. When you see this overall pattern, this is what it looks like. It's on the 30-minute chart, and in terms of the pattern recognition, it lasts for 1 hour. When you see this pattern placed at a key level to be going bullish, could be a break and retest level, could be a key trend reversal level, key oversold support level, right? This is a very bullish signal that once this pattern forms, 30-minute red, 30-minute green has to look very similar. It's like this with the candlesticks, how they look, right? Basically like two middle candlesticks like that is going to be overall bullish trend. Keep that in mind because in terms of the end of this video, I'm going to be walking you through the trade where I use this pattern to buy call options on the SPY and we absolutely crushed it. So this is a very strong zone to be dip buying. This is an auto buy zone where I would just look to get in. 6201. 6201 auto buy, key break and retest, key trend reversal pattern where it's going to bounce first. Those are the overall levels for ES. Now, in terms of NQ is going to be, previous closing price right here, 22740, and this level right here as well, 22751. And then this level right here as well, 22673, right? And then in terms of the SPY is going to be the following. So in terms of the SPY, as you can see, we have this, massive, we have this nice gap up right here. So in terms of the SPY, this is what I want to bring some awareness to, is going to be the previous closing price, 614.91. 614.91 is going to be very, very key. As you can see, this is, previous closing price, lots of resistance, lots of break and retest. Once we drop back down, I'm going to try to bounce first. And then this level again, this, 612.55, and look at this during extended hours, this trend that I just mentioned where ES would be an auto buy zone literally was a strong buy zone for SPY where it already played out. Take a look at this. Look at this pattern on SPY right here. You have this red 30-minute, green 30-minute. It spikes, and then it comes back down, and look where it bottoms. It bottoms on the break and retest. It bottoms towards the high of this 30-minute pattern right here, 30-minute pattern right here. Again, when you see this pattern placed at a key trend reversal level or a key support level or a key level to be buying calls, this is very, very bullish, right? If it's placed in a bearish situation, then it could be bearish, right? But I'm going to be breaking down to you why this was considered extremely bullish and why we bought calls towards the end of this video. But the point is, you can look at this in terms of the SPY as a reflection where what's going to happen when ES and NQ drops back down to this level. And you can, set a price alert, and you can just kind of look to get in a sense. You can also use confirmations if you want. But it's a strong auto buy level, and this right here is confirming as well. We had resistance right here, resistance right here. This is a key trend reversal pattern. This is bullish when placed bullish. Strong move. It came crashing back down during extended hours, bottomed slightly above this level, started to spike. Now we're having the massive gap up. So again, if you go back to ES and NQ, you're going to see this was the level right here. This was the pattern. This was the pattern. We had the breakout, but we didn't drop back down. That's why I'm telling you, whenever this happens, whenever we drop back down, and this is going to be the main play right here, this like 6205 to 6200, you can use that pattern and that analysis that I already worked with SPY with ES and NQ, and it's likely going to bounce first and spike first. So that would be a strong auto buy zone, and you can also use it for SPY as well. Strong auto buy zone, SPY literally already confirmed in terms of what I said, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a strong bounce in between this zone of 6207 to 6201. In between this, it's likely going to bottom slightly above that towards like 6203, 6205, in between its zone. Very strong buy. NQ right here towards 22687 to 22697, right in between its zone. Strong buys. I'm telling you, if you wait within the future, when it decides to drop back down to the level, is likely going to be a strong buy. In terms of this situation, this is like a money line play. This is like one of those free money line plays. This is like one of those like auto buy plays in a sense, where I would literally just look to automatically get in, and SPY already confirmed it in a sense, and it's a very strong break and retest strategy and trend reversal pattern where I'm telling you is likely going to have a very strong bounce. So whenever it drops back down to that level, you know what to do. You should be able to have a very successful trade with that information. If you set the price alert, execute properly, use the confirmations, once we drop back down to that level, you should be able to have a phenomenal win there. So I'm sharing with you the best plays. These are the best opportunities that I'm seeing within the market. I'm gonna update you on a very frequent basis on that. Now, in terms of the SPY, like I said, 614.91, previous closing price gap, close reversal, break and retest, and then right here, 612.70 to 613.30, in between the range. Those are the very strong buy zones. These are the best possible levels where if we get a drop back down to be going long, especially that zone in between that support right here and in between this pattern right here of the resistance, in between that zone, in between that zone right here, the support right here, in between that, and then in between that support and zone. You can use this information however you want it, however you trade, whether you're trading futures, whether you're trading option contracts on SPY, however you want to use this, whether you're trading during extended hours, whether you're trading during normal trading hours, you can use this. I'm telling you, even what I just showed you right here, where with what I told you already worked in a sense on SPY. It already fucking worked. It already worked on SPY during the extended hours, and I'm telling you, once we hit that level during normal trading hours, it's likely going to work just as good. So I'm telling you, once we have the spike, once we drop back down to the zone is in between this, in between that, right? On ES and NQ, in between the zone right here, strong fucking buy. ES and NQ, strong buy. You use this information, you're going to print money. Just wait, because I'm sharing with you the best opportunities. And every single day, I'm going to, there's going to be, at times, there's going to be new opportunities, and I'll continue to, explain to you the new opportunities that I'm seeing. So those are the best overall moves that you can make in a market in terms of trading the best setups at the best prices, in terms of like those easy money plays, especially like for beginners, like it would be very hard to lose in a sense if you play those overall zones. If you trade the way that we trade, these are the absolute best that I'm seeing. And again, this gets updated very, very frequently. These trade ideas, the best setups for this prices, this is what I'm seeing right now. You guys are well aware the market, it fluctuates, things change at the speed of fucking light. These are the absolute best. When they hit the levels, the opportunity's there. You take them, right? So use this information to your advantage. When it happens, seize the moment. So in terms of the SPY, explain to you what the SPY, what to look for in terms of the buy zone. Now, like I said, we're at new all-time highs. So when we're pushing for new all-time highs, it's going to be a bit difficult to determine where we're going to pull back. Based off of what I'm seeing, we are going to experience likely some sort of pullback heading into tomorrow where SPY gives back some of the day's gains, into the close, where we kind of close towards the upper middle. That's one of the potential outcomes, if not a strong bullish close. But overall, it's looking bullish. What would flip things if we open up towards previous closing price and we stayed under previous closing price? That would flip the overall sentiment heading into tomorrow from being bearish to bullish. If we opened up towards previous closing price and just reacted bearish and stayed under previous closing price, the market would be considered overall bearish and there'd be a break of trend. Based off the pattern's supposed to be overall bullish, and the potential outcome of the bullish pattern is we can get back not half, but the upper half of the gains heading into tomorrow. Now, in terms of determining that level, one strategy that I use when we're pushing for new all-time highs is you can look at similar patterns. So you can write this information down and you can kind of do it for yourself within a sense. You can literally just look at this pattern. Like right here, we have this green, red, green. We have this overall bullish trend. You can kind of measure moves. Like you can see how this right here looks kind of similar to this. You can measure moves. Like I've been studying throughout the history. Last time it went up a couple points. You could say like 3 to 4 points from the previous closing price. Then it gave back like half the gains, or it just tries to close strong to bullish, towards the highs. Another thing you could do is you could just wait for a big pullback, right? So in terms of the measuring the move, it could be like 2 to 4 points above the previous closing, 3 to 4 points above the previous closing price. And then once we have like a 2-point drop, especially in terms of the time, if it's like during the middle of the day or later into the close, if it's like a 2-point drop and we spike back to retest that into the close. So if you're seeing a double top, a triple top, right? If you're seeing that, market kind of stayed in a nice range between like 3 to 5 points, and then we start to have a nice pullback at some point throughout the day, and we're getting this double top and triple top during midday, especially during the close, and you're seeing it's retesting that resistance, that could be a play for puts tomorrow. So you can just look for a pullback, 2 points plus, and then during the middle of the day or during into the close, if we're retesting the highs of that pullback, you can look for a play on puts because it could potentially drop into the close, right? So like I said, based off the overall daily chart pattern that I'm seeing, the overall day is considered bullish, especially if we're opening up above the previous closing price. One of the potential outcomes is into the close, we get back the upper highs of the gains, not necessarily half of the day's gains, but towards the upper highs. We get back like maybe 2 points within the day, right? And if it is gonna play out like that, the best way to do it, since we're at all-time highs, you could just literally, we measure the move, like I said, 3 to 4 to 5 points above the previous closing price, likely 3 to 4 in between that range. Could be 2 to 4. And then, from there, you just wait for a pullback. Wait for a pullback. And then if we spike back up towards the highs of that pullback, you can short the retest. You could look to short the retest into the close ideally, would be the easiest way to play it. Look for a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation. Look for a trend reversal 30-minute candlestick confirmation. So that's what I'm seeing. And then in terms of the break of trend, if there was a break of trend and market was very bearish, we would just have to open up towards the previous closing price and stay under previous closing price. And then if that would happen, we would drop back to the zone, and then we would spike at the zone. And then from there, the SPY could drop a little bit further, right? So if we're open up bearish, say we're not having the gap down, right? Very likely going to play out bullish, and then we could have potential pullback with what I told you at all-time highs. Just wait for the pullback, look to short the double top, triple top, key times middle of the day to end of day. But if there's a break of trend, we would need to stay below the previous closing price, and then it's going to try to bounce towards this lower zone that I gave you. You could try calls against the trend. Then it's going to try to drop towards the lows, towards 611, and be overall bearish. That's the main overall way where I would see a strong bearish day. But just be aware, even on the bullish day, there's likely going to be a pullback, especially where we give back the upper highs of the gains, kind of closing towards the upper half of the day's gains. So just be aware of that. But based off of what I'm seeing, man, if we're gapping up, it would be very unusual. If we're opening up with the gap up, it'd be very unusual for the SPY to close like bearish. At worst, I'd say we close in the middle. So look for break and retest opportunities to be buying the dip. Heading into tomorrow, look for breaks above resistance, like 1.5, 2 point breakouts. When SPY drops back down to the previous resistance, look to go long. Later into the day and into the close, if you're seeing bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations at key all-time high resistance levels where the SPY was dropping from, into the day, say it's a double top, say it's a triple top, middle of the day, or later into the day, buy puts. And then if we're opening up flat and previous closing prices reacting bearish, you could try a quick play on puts, look for the play on calls at the lower range, and then it's going to try to drop to the even lower range of the overall situation. So that's the main outlook on ES, NQ, SPY. In terms of triple Q, same fucking thing. You could see these are literally all the same fucking patterns, right? But like I said, man, you could use this to your advantage because, again, the pattern already played out on SPY in a sense. So I'm telling you, once NQ, ES goes back to that level, it's going to be a phenomenal level. And these are things that other people don't see. They don't see, stuff like this within the market on how it plays out. So triple Q, buy zone, 546.50 to 547, one of your best buy zones right there. 548, keep your eyes on 548, break and retest, right? And then also, these are very strong levels to buy the dip as well. You can look for dip buys at these levels as well, towards the lows of that pattern, towards the lows of this pattern. So ES 6184 on NQ 22601 on SPY, 611. This is another very strong buy zone. So keep all these buy zones in mind. I'm telling you, once we drop back down to these levels, these are going to be the money line, the free line plays. You should be printing at the speed of fucking light with these plays. Triple Q 644.66. So another thing that I wanted to bring awareness to was the VIX. So in terms of the VIX, what you need to understand about markets volatility and the pattern here on the VIX, this is what I want to bring some awareness to. We are at, as you can see, literally towards like on the VIX, on this overall like chart right here, we're literally like towards the lows, right? Like we're towards the absolute like lows right here. Now what I wanted to point out here is this is overall like bearish. This is overall bearish. So when you're seeing this, right? This right here, this is like a death fucking candle followed by a gap down. If you go back throughout the channel, we had many plays where we banked on puts in situations like this when we traded SPY, right? You can use these patterns on other symbols. But this right here, this volatility is overall bearish. When you see the death candle with the gap down followed up by more downside, and then this move right here, this isn't a very bullish signal right here. Facing up, facing down like that at a key support level is looking like is going to want to follow up within some time, where instead of just shooting back up to fill this gap right here, what it's going to try to do instead is it's going to try to break down and retest. It's going to try to break below that. It's going to try to break below that, and then it's going to try to retest. It's going to try to break below that, retest but lower highs, might not even want to go back, and then go even lower towards this gap right here towards 1477. So just understand in terms of like how the VIX looks and how this is setting up. We are setting up for a very high volatility move within the fucking market. As of now, this looks bearish. And again, this analysis, this gets updated very, very frequently at the speed of fucking light. Okay, so take this day by day. In terms of inside of Team Roar, this is all, we update everything 100% in real time, right? So in terms of a day before advance, this is what I have to say right now. We focus on day trading, and we day trade options. So this gets updated at the speed of light. Things can change, things can shift, and when things shift, when things change, we adapt accordingly, right? So that's what I have to say right now. That's what I would focus on heading into tomorrow. And those are the best levels and the best buy zones to be trading at. So use that information when the levels hit, use the 30-minute chart. And now what I'm going to do is, this is going to help improve your trading a lot. I'm going to show you the trades, and I'm going to walk you through the strategy that I used to buy these calls on SPY, we absolutely crushed it on Friday. So let's get into this, man. This is going to give you a different perspective, a different outlook on how to look at the market. So, let's get into the trades, man. This was the top trade. I'm going to be getting into all of this, man. All of our trades combined with the wins, with the L, over 1,000% on Friday. We fucking crushed it, man. This was a massive day we had on Friday. So, in terms of the trades, let's get into this. At 3:19 p.m., 3:19, I bought these SPY 613 calls at 18 cents a contract. And then a minute later, I bought 6150 SPX calls at 250 cents a contract. And then shortly after I bought those calls, you're going to see G-Roar, he ended up taking a trade right here on SPX as well. So 3:38 p.m., 8 minutes after the 30-minute candlestick closed, the last one of the day, he decided to buy SPX 6160 SPX calls, right? So he decided to wait until that 30-minute candlestick closed. Shortly after it closed, the final one on the day, shortly after the last one opened up on the day, he decided to buy 6160 calls. So we were in on all these fucking plays. These 6160 calls, 70 cents a contract, these went all the way to 550. They went up over 600% plus at the speed of fucking light. And we sold that at 590 a contract, literally risking 70 cents multiplied by 100, $70 a contract to make $590 a contract. And they went to $1,420. They went to $1,420 a contract, man. Who the fuck do you know is doing this? And I'm going to explain to you these trades and share with you a different outlook on the market on how we're able to do this. So in terms of the trades that I made before that, in terms of the trades that I made before that one, 6113 calls, 18 cents, 6150 calls, 250 cents. This is what I ended up saying. So this is going to walk you through it. So one of the ways that I want you to look at the market as like a mirror, you can look at the chart as like a mirror. And one of the ways you can trade within the market, if you're looking at the charts like it's a mirror, you can trade the reflection, right? If you're looking at the market like it's a mirror, what is it reflecting back to you, right? It's going to reflect everything back to you. So what I did was I looked at the market as a mirror, right? You can say this is like patterns. You can say this is trend recognition. I'm just sharing with you a different perspective that can really open you up from different aspects of the overall market. And it can also reflect back to how you trade within the market, right? If you look at the market like a mirror, it's going to reflect so much back than just candlesticks. So the point being is, this is what I followed up with when I took the trade on calls, right? The next 30-minute candlestick should be a strong bullish spike, then a slight drop into the close. So what was I seeing? Why did I say that after I bought calls? Because I'm explaining to members on why I'm actually in these calls. I'm explaining to them what it is that I'm seeing. I'm explaining to them the mirror that I'm seeing in the market and what it's reflecting back into, and the moves that I'm making in that reflection, right? I'm looking at the market like it's a mirror and it's reflecting something back to me, and I'm explaining to you on what I'm doing with that reflection. So with that being said, this is what I was seeing. You see how the SPY had this uptrend right here? You see how I have these green bullish candlesticks right here? So I want you to just focus on the similarities, right? I don't want you to focus on how exactly it looks right here. I just want you to focus on the similarities of this mirror. Look at how it uptrends. Look at how it uptrends. You see how that's similar in terms of like how it's uptrending, how the 30-minute candlesticks look, right? And then look at how it downtrends. You see how it downtrends? You see how it downtrends? You see how that's all similar, right? So we're seeing some similar reflection here within the market. Now, this is, in terms of the confirmation of this reflection, this is what I got in on. I noticed there was a pattern right here, there's a pattern right here, and then eventually the SPY bottomed and it had a massive spike when it formed this pattern. There's a pattern right here and it was selling off right here. Eventually, it's going to have that massive spike up. So how do we figure out when it's going to have that massive reversal with this pattern where 30-minute candlesticks are going up sideways, 30-minute candlesticks are going up sideways, 30-minute candlesticks are dropping sideways, 30-minute candlesticks are dropping sideways? Where the fuck is it going to bottom? The reflection said right here. Take a look. The 30-minute candlestick, look at this 30-minute candlestick right here. It's red. Look at this. And then look at this 30-minute candlestick right here. It's red. You see how they look nearly identical, right? Look at how they closed. You see the wicks, the bottom wick, the top wick, the top wick, the bottom wick. Now I understand this is a lot bigger. This is a lot bigger. This is a lot smaller. But the look is identical. If you measured by just how they looked, the only reason why these wicks are bigger here and bigger here in a sense, and it's not exactly like that, is because the move was so much fucking bigger. But if you didn't compare it by size and you just look at how this visually looks, this red candle looks identical to this red candle right here. And it was selling off for 90 minutes. In this situation, it was selling off for more than 90 minutes. So it's even more oversold. So in a way, it's like a delayed reflection. It's like a delayed reversal. And in terms of the 30-minute candlestick, you're going to see next 30-minute candlestick was very strong green and bullish. Next 30-minute candlestick was very strong green and bullish. And look at how they closed. Closed identical, closed identical. So if you go back throughout my channel, you're going to see that this is a pattern that we've traded many times before. And what I would do is I would encourage you to, remember this pattern and understand that it's a bullish pattern when it's placed bullish. Now, why was this a bullish placement? One of the reasons why this was a bullish placement, and you can look at it as an oversold delayed bullish placement, these are all the reasons to be bullish. Look at this. This is strong break and retest level. In the pre-market, we had all this resistance, very strong breakout, drop back down. So when the SPY hits this key resistance level after this massive breakout, it could potentially spike first, right? But it's not always going to spike at that exact break and retest level. Sometimes it's going to go lower, and if it goes lower, it could be a delayed reversal if the confirmation is there. That's why you shouldn't just judge by levels and by placements, because it could be a delayed trend reversal confirmation in a sense. Would you rather have the best confirmation at a lower level or at a higher level if you're buying calls? I'd rather have it where if it's delayed and it's a lower level and then the confirmation comes in. Some people are just going to buy into the level without the fucking confirmation, and then it's going to drop lower and the confirmation comes in, and the lower level works better because the confirmation was there. So the true best confirmation was right here. So we have this break and retest, and the bottom was during this previous resistance level, resistance here, resistance right here, break, retest. It worked during extended hours. So when it hits during normal trading hours, likely going to bounce first, right? And then again, if you just look at this, man, this is fucking identical. I'm telling you, you go back throughout the chart history on a bullish placement, on a break and retest level. This right here, this is resistance. The high of this red 30-minute candlestick is fucking resistance. Massive spike. When SPY drops back down to that resistance right here, this zone right here, it's going to try to bounce first. Now, you're going to see in a sense, it did have a nice little bounce right here, but it was delayed. It didn't necessarily bounce first in a sense for you to hold the trade name for a bigger win. It dropped lower, but then it came back to life after the best confirmation, which is why confirmation is very important, especially if we're in a situation where it's going lower into a falling knife. And especially as well, if you're just getting in right here, you don't want to just try to blindly get in on an auto buy situation in certain situations where it hits level for the first time, but you could try. It depends on the auto buy situation, but some of the best plays are when you get the best confirmation on an oversold zone, because a lot of traders, and I was one of them, I was looking for a break and retest to buy right here at 613.50, and a lot of people will sometimes just buy into that, and then when it drops lower, they all get spooked. A lot of people get spooked, and some people flip bearish. But if there's a bullish signal into the lowerness, into the lower fucking level, you can look at it as a delayed reversal and as a better opportunity and a better level to be buying calls. So, this was a phenomenal situation where this pattern right here formed right here, and then you can see the next 30-minute signals a strong bullish move to the upside, which is why I also said to sell the move, because it can potentially lose some gains if that reflection repeats in a very similar cycle. If you're looking at the market as a mirror, it's not always going to reflect back to you in, an exact mirror, right? It's not always going to work in an exact cycle, but it could be very, very similar. But in terms of the key to this working, the key was right here. Next 30 minutes was supposed to be bullish when this pattern closes like this, when this pattern closes like this. That's why I said it's supposed to be bullish. If it holds above the previous 30-minute close, it's going to be a strong bullish move. Then it can get back some gains. So play it safe, sell the move. You could leave some runners, set profit stops. So in this situation, it didn't really get back any gains. It was just a strong overall bullish move. But that's how I came up with that overall trade, by looking at the market as a mirror. And you could see all of the words was literally a mirror of the market, right? There was a break and retest level right here. I noticed that the SPY went well under the break and retest level, but that doesn't mean that it's bearish. If there's a bullish confirmation, I look at that as a more oversold opportunity to be buying into the SPY. Because if you look at it like this, you could have bought a potential, bearish, you could have bought into some bearish right here at a higher level, or you can buy into bullishness at a lower level, right? But in terms of the reflection, like this pattern is very strong signal for a reversal. The next 30 minutes should spike at 3:25 p.m. Again, that's literally right before this 30-minute candlestick right here, this massive 30-minute candlestick, right before it opened. I was explaining that into my trade, and I was walking everyone through this bullish pattern that I was seeing, you know, to explain the overall trade, right? And just make sure you recognize that pattern, because it's one of the most strongest bullish signal trend reversal patterns, the one that I just explained to you, especially when it's placed at a gap close reversal, at a break and retest, at a bullish placement, right? So the confirmation on the trade is way before this. Way before this, I actually had you know, an L on calls that came back to life. I went 2 for 3 on the day, but my wins outweighed the losses like fucking crazy. The wins were over 200%. But one of the reasons why I bought calls before that is because it was a break and retest level. This was a break and retest level. I bought calls before that, and also 3 slanted red, 3 slanted red, bought calls, and it didn't work. It didn't have that strong bullish move. But once I recognized that it was even more oversold with a better pattern right here, better confirmation, I took advantage of that. So again, it doesn't matter. The win rate does not fucking matter. It doesn't matter that I had an L before that. I had 2 massive wins after that, and the gains yielded to over 250%. So with that being said, the commentary was just a pure reflection of what was supposed to happen, and I was just explaining, you know, with all the confirmations and everything. And then we absolutely crushed it. I sold at 340 on 250. I sold at 48 cents. And then G-Roar, he was very, very bullish. You know, he was very, very bullish, and he took SPX calls. He took SPX calls. And on this play, 6160 SPX calls, 70 cents, all the way to you know, 1,440 contracts, 1,440 a contract, right? So this is the power of options. This is what you can do. Trading SPX past 3:30 p.m. when the contracts are getting ready to expire worthless, and when you have big moves like this within the market. But that's how I was able to come up with an overall strong bullish close. So in terms of my day on Friday, I went 2 for 3. In terms of G-Roar, he absolutely fucking crushed it, man. I mean, that trade alone, that was over a 700% profit return, literally from 70 to 590. And if you held runners, it went to 1440. You could have turned $70 into $1,400 on that. So, you know, we absolutely crushed it. And that's the strategy that I wanted to explain to you and just give you a different outlook and a different perspective on the market. So, you know, if you want to know what the bottom looks like, if you want to know what the top looks like, start looking at the previous tops and the previous bottoms and look at the perfect reflection. And if the perfect reflection is there, I mean, to me, this is a perfect reflection, because I'm well aware this is a break and retest level. This level right here is a break and retest. This level right here is a break and retest. So when the SPY drops back down to the 613.50, if it has a massive pump on a bullish day and drops back down, it's likely going to bounce first, right? So it's a key level where I can look to buy calls. And then it's your choice if you use some sort of confirmation, or if you just kind of get in, I would encourage you to use a confirmation, right? But the point being is, even if you bought calls right here, like I said, I tried calls once right here. It didn't work out, but even the trade came back to life. The calls literally went in the fucking money, and they came back to life. So even when they were down like 80-90% plus, it came back to life because the trend was so fucking bullish, regardless of how big it dropped at first. But the point being is, win rate does not matter at all. Even that one SPX trade that Giro made was over fucking 700% return. And you know, it's just showing you there's better trades. It's just showing you that if you bought calls right here and it was a loss, it doesn't fucking matter, because there was a better opportunity later on throughout the day. We had this red candle here, this red candle right here, this green candle right here, this green candle right here. Next 30 minutes is strong bullish. Next 30 minutes is strong bullish. You make it all back at the perfect time to make it all back during power hour. Power hour is the trading session that can bail you out. It can bail you out where if you're red on the day, or if you're looking for the biggest gains in the market, it puts you on top. It's the cheapest, lowest risk trades. I mean, if you want to see what power hour is, this is exactly what power hour is. It's SP fucking X. 6145, SPX calls for 70 cents, 150, they're up 100% within fucking 1 minute. And then within minutes later, they're you know, just look at these trades. Look at this. Look at all these fucking wins during power hour. Just look at all these fucking trades. These are all massive fucking wins, nonstop. It's unlimited fucking winning. This is power hour. 6160 SPX calls for 70 cents a contract. Within minutes, 120, 170, 250, 470, 550, sold at 590, risking 70 to make 590. Where else are you going to be able to risk $70 to make $590? And if you left just one runner, just one contract, 1420. Like, are you seeing that? From 40 cents to 1420. We were in at fucking nothing. We were in at under 100 cents. Every single day during the power hour trading session, we're looking to make trades on SPX that are below 100, and sometimes they go from 3 to 500, sometimes they go to 1,000 plus. I told you, every single week we have trades where we make over a 1,000% return. This is living proof. Another 1,000% gainer you could have had on Friday. One 1,000% gain can literally make you, on one contract, you could turn $70 into $700. You can't do this anywhere else within the market. This is the best system if you're trading with real fucking money. It's cheap, it's low risk, it's the biggest percentage gains, and the win rate does not matter. Do you understand? We can have, after that trade, we can have 5 losses in a row on SPX. They can all go to 0. We'll still be profitable. If you make a 1,000% gain, you can have 9 100% losses in a row. If you make a 1,000% gain, you can have 1 100% loss for each red day and have 9 red days in a row and still be profitable with just 1 fucking green day. I'm trying to explain to you that with zero-day options, it's the best system to be profitable within the market if you know how to trade them. So it's the first link down below in the description. If you want to trade alongside us and join us, I would really encourage you as well to use that perspective to your advantage within the market, because that's one of the main ways that I trade in terms of setting up a technical foundation within the market, waiting for it to reflect back to me the best confirmations, right? In terms of like, if you're wanting like I'll show you. Before that, I had 1 loss on calls. This was the loss. I had 1 loss on calls, 6-1-15, but they came back to life and they went in the money towards the end of the day, which is fucking amazing because they were absolutely fucking worthless and they came back to life. But 6-1-15 calls, 31 cents. This one didn't work. My next 2 trades, 250% win, 67% win rate, net positive. And then G-Wars trade was over 700% fucking return. The win rate does not fucking matter. It doesn't matter if you fucking lose. Losing is a personal fucking choice, even if you have a loss. So with that being said, what I was seeing in that though was this. I was seeing 3 red slanted, and it bottomed at the break and retest zone. So I was thinking it was going to try to have a reversal, because the last time it did that, it had a strong bullish candle, but it didn't work. It's not going to work all the fucking time, but it doesn't fucking have to, because look, as it was selling off more and going lower, that's a better opportunity to buy calls, because not only is it more oversold and going to have a bigger reaction, it's during the best time. It's during a time where it can bail any fucking loss out during the power hour trading session. You could have a loss here, you can have a loss here, you can have a loss here, and then all of a sudden power hour hits and it bails you out of all those fucking losses. All of a sudden you start to see that if you have 3 trades and 2 of those trades are losses and you just lost 200% and one of those wins is over 200%, you're net fucking positive. And we add to the winners to increase the fucking winnings, but it was just a better confirmation as well. That's why you can't get emotional within the market. I made it very clear within the chat. I made it very clear. Like, see, the people who don't know, or they're just fucking emotional, they don't trade the whole system. Like, they'll take this trade and it'll be a loss and they won't take the next one. They'll get all emotional about it, or they won't have faith or confidence in the next one. But I stuck to the same side. You see, later on today, 1:50 p.m. calls didn't work. 3:19 p.m., right before the market closed, calls worked like fucking crazy. So it just goes to show you the win rate doesn't fucking matter at all if you know what the fuck you're doing. But this was key right here. See, you have to have this awareness of the reflection. Let's see this right here. The confirmation on this trade is way better than the one before. The confirmation before was right here. This is a break and retest level. This is resistance. This is the break. Drops back down, retest. So I'm looking to buy calls because it's a break and retest. And also 3 slanted red, next 30 minutes was bullish. 3 slanted red, next 30 minutes could have been bullish. That's what I was looking at. But it didn't work. So later on today, after I had that loss, the market gave me a better opportunity, a better reflection. And I took advantage of that reflection and I made back a lot more than what was lost. 100% loss, but the other gains were over 250%. So you have to be able to stick to that within the market. And the reflection on that last trade was red, green, next 30 minutes, strong bullish, next 30 minutes, strong bullish. But the placement was so key. It was so oversold. We went so below the break and retest level where we were supposed to bounce in a sense. We dropped so much lower, so it was so much more oversold. We had the best signal for a reversal. We had the best signal for a strong bullish 30-minute close. So the fact that this was just that fucking oversold We were due for a spike at the bare minimum to 613 fucking plus, and then some sort of pullback, but we never really got that pullback. Just kept on fucking spiking. Market's not always going to reflect in a similar cycle all the time. But it just goes to show you that that reflection bailed everyone out who took that loss beforehand, and we had 3 massive fucking wins on calls after that one loss beforehand. So it just goes to show you, man, the timing matters as well. I always tell people, man, power hour is the best time to trade because it's going to give you the biggest percentage gains. And the market gives you more of a reflection as more time passes. You know, as time passes, there's more to look at. As there's more to look at, there's more accuracy. There's better opportunities. You know, this right here, we're more oversold. And where are we more oversold? We're more oversold when the market's about to close. We're more oversold when the stock market is about to close, which means a massive move could be set up right here, a delayed trend reversal and the best trend reversal confirmation. It's like the best confirmation was there. And I would say in terms of this market, you're genuinely lost, or you're just not looking at the way that I'm looking at how the market. If you weren't bullish last 30 minutes, it was so fucking obvious. It was just so fucking obvious. We have this delayed reaction, break and retest, so oversold, red, green at key fucking support at the previous closing fucking price. It was so fucking obvious. I would say anyone within this market who didn't see that is genuinely in fucking trouble, especially if you watch my fucking videos, is genuinely lost to a certain extent. And I would go back and watch every fucking video that I've ever posted, especially the one about the gaps, because not only was that, it was a gap close reversal. SPY gapped up at 611.87, and we had a massive move to 616.39, and it dropped back down to fill the gap. And when we filled the gap, it formed one of the best confirmations. Again, you could save this. Some people will put a label on what this pattern is, and this pattern that I'm showing you, it could be in books. It could be. But in terms of how I learned this, it's not from reading books and labeling fucking things. It's from me literally showing you how I'm doing what the fuck I'm doing, which is one of the things that I'm doing is, instead of just saying, oh, history is going to repeat itself, I'm looking at the market as a mirror, and what it's reflecting back to me, I'm looking to see what I can do with that reflection. Is the reflection saying, oh, this isn't the best setup. Let's sit out on this trade. I don't like what I'm seeing right here. I don't like what the market's reflecting to me here, right? What is it reflecting right here? It's reflecting the best setup at the best price. The market gaps up. It has an overreaction to the upside. Then it has an overreaction to the downside. That's key confirmation, or we can automatically have a reversal. It's at a break and retest level, resistance, gap up, massive move to the upside, massive move to the downside. It lost all of its gains just as quickly as it gained them, which means it's a strong signal for a trend reversal. If you use all this fucking information that I'm giving you, you're going to start to see how losing is a personal choice if you trade the way the market reflects this back to you. I'm telling you, if you just wait for these setups that I'm fucking showing you, you are going to be green at the speed of fucking light. And you are going to be saying that losing is a personal fucking choice, even when you have a fucking loss, because you're going to flip back to fucking green, even if you had a fucking loss. So, with that being said, gap up, resistance, gap up, gap and go. Break and retest right here, break out, gap and go, loses all the gap and go gains, drops back down to fill the gap. Is it going to reverse at the gap, or is it going to keep on fucking going the same direction it came from to filling that gap? It's going to keep on going down. It's going to fucking reverse at the fucking gap, because look at the fucking trend. Look at the mirror. Up, down, down. It's the same fucking way, the same fucking direction. Red, green. What did it do after the red fucking green? After the red green, strong and bullish. Delayed reversal, oversold, strong bullish close. Perfect fucking sense. This is so fucking simple, man. So, I'm trying to explain to you I know how you can have this fucking eye for the fucking market. And one of the ways you can have this fucking eye is by looking at it in a different perspective. Start looking at the market as a mirror. And it's not just going to reflect back to you fucking candlesticks. It's going to go 1,000 times fucking deeper than that. It's going to show you all of your fucking emotions. It's going to show you every fucking thing. I'm telling you, if you start looking at the market as a mirror, and there's different types of fucking mirrors depending on how you fucking look at it, it's going to start changing the way you trade, the way you perceive things. It's going to start changing your fucking mindset. You know, there's just so many ways to look and perceive a market, and I look at it and perceive it in many different fucking ways. But that's one of the ways how I would encourage you to look at it. And I think by looking at it that way, it makes things a lot more simpler. If you look at the market as this is just, you're looking at a mirror and what it's reflecting back to you, it's going to reflect a lot and not just the fucking candlesticks. And you're going to start looking for the perfect reflections. And you're going to start looking at, wow, I don't like this reflection that I'm seeing right here. And then you're going to start to understand what that reflection truly is. I mean, this reflection for me, this was the best setup at the best fucking price. SPY gapped up. SPY, red, green. SPY, red, green. And then before that, we had the 3 red. We had a more red, which means it's even more fucking oversold, which is better, not fucking worse. Then we had the green, bullish 30 minute. Then we had the green, bullish 30 minute, bullish 30 minute, right? Look for the perfect reflections in the market. Look for the perfect placements. If you start doing that, you're going to be printing at the speed of fucking light, man. So start looking into the mirror. Look at what was the reflection that SPY gave when it bottomed perfectly. What did the 30-minute candlesticks reflect back to you, right? When it topped perfectly, what did it look like? When the SPY had a perfect break and retest, when it broke above a resistance level, dropped back down to retest and bottomed, what was the perfect reflection? When the SPY had a strong breakdown and retest, when it cracked below the support level, spiked back up, reacted as a resistance, formed the lower highs, reacted bearish, what did it look like? Start looking at the market, and what I would encourage you to do is the 10-day, 30-minute chart and the daily chart are very strong foundations to do this, especially for day trading. Especially the 30-minute chart is what I found best to be the perfect time frame and for this to work the best, especially for massive fucking wins. So start doing that, man. Look at this as a mirror and trade what it's reflecting back to you. And if you do that, you're going to start to know your standards for trading. Wow, I'm trading a shit reflection. Why am I putting myself in this reflection? I want a better reflection, right? I want a better setup at a better fucking price. So it's your choice to do and to see within these reflections on what you do and see with that, right? Is going to expose a lot. When you look at this as like a reflection, you're going to start to be like, wow, this is a horrible fucking setup compared to that reflection right there. I mean, this is like the highest fucking standard. With what I just showed you, it doesn't get easier and better than that. That's why I'm saying, like, if you weren't bullish at 3:30 fucking p.m., you are genuinely fucking lost. You don't have the fucking mirror. You're not looking at it's like a mirror and fucking reflection. You don't understand the curriculum. It's like you're genuinely fucking lost. Especially if you've been watching all the fucking content, I'm genuinely fucking concerned. I'm being very, very blunt and very, very honest with you because that's what mirrors do. They reflect back to people. Like, I'm literally just showing you the fucking reflection. Like, if you weren't bullish after 3:30 p.m., it was the best setup. It was the best fucking play. You were genuinely fucking lost. Like, I'm genuinely fucking concerned for you. You need to go back and fucking study and start implementing this stuff. Like, that was the easiest fucking play. It was the easiest play. I fucking saw it. G-Roar fucking saw it. Like, do you understand? This is what we're doing, okay? So with what I just fucking showed you, this is what the fuck we're doing. If you understand, like, oh, this information, what do you do with this information? What do you do with what they're teaching us? This is what the fuck we do. I'm showing you right fucking here. This is what we do. With what the fuck I just fucking said, this is what the fuck we do. 6160 SPX calls for 70 fucking cents, selling at 590, they go to 1440. That's what we fucking do with this information. There's going to be other people who use this information. Some of them are going to buy fucking shares, make no fucking gains. Some of them are going to buy in the fucking money options, make small fucking gains and risk more, paying fucking more. Us, we have systems that are cheap, low risk, far out of the money option contracts. We sell deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. You understand? The trades we make at Power Hour bails everyone fucking out. If someone was fucking red before, they take a trade during Power Hour at a small size, it bails them out. They're fucking green at the speed of fucking light. Win rate doesn't fucking matter. If they're green before, and everyone knows if you're green, the most you risk is 25 to 50% of your gains if you choose to keep on trading, because you're not going to go green to red on the fucking day if you're green enough to walk away and choose to keep on walking and trading. So you're even more fucking green. We have a real-time zero-date options trading alert system. What we do is we print money at the speed of fucking light. We make the biggest percentage gains in the market with the cheapest, lowest risk. You understand? Risking $70 a contract to make $600 to potentially make on runners $1,400 a contract. You can't do that anywhere else within the market. Only way to do it is on zero-date options that are far out of the money. And in terms of the most consistent way to do it, SPX from 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m., You can also look to do this on stocks on Fridays, using scanners, using, key strategies. There's going to be massive plays on stock at times. Also do this on SPYs, biggest percentage gainers, right? This is what the fuck we do. We do this every single fucking day. Whether there's a video posted or not, this is what we're doing every single fucking day, In terms of posting videos every day, as much as I would genuinely want to do that because I do enjoy what I do and I'm very passionate about it, for who I am, especially as of now at this current point in time, sometimes I'm not going to post. There's just going to be some days, like Friday, we had our best day, I didn't post. Thursday was a great day, I didn't post. It has nothing to do with whether it's a good or bad day. It's just, you guys have to understand, like, I'm a very consistent person in terms of like the trades we make and focusing on trading, all that stuff. But in terms of videos, like, I carry a certain frequency and, I protect in terms of what it is that I do, and I'm very aware of what it is that I do. I'm not gonna, try to drain like my frequency or my signal or anything like that. Like, I'm very precise at what it is that I do, and there are certain times, especially when you're making YouTube videos, where you genuinely like need a break, if that makes sense. There are certain times where you genuinely need a break from certain things that you do within your work, even if you're passionate about them, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, we're always fucking trading. We're trading non-fucking stop. It's unlimited fucking trading, unlimited fucking printing, non-fucking stop. And we buy cheap, low risk, far out of the money, zero-day option contracts. We sell them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. And in terms of some background to the system, we've created the best system with far out of the money, zero-day options. Just to give you some background to it, the most we put in is our max risk per trade. If the trade expires worthless and goes to zero, we lose our max risk per trade. When we're up 15% plus, we set a profit stop. If you set a profit stop, it's impossible to go green to red. You get profit stopped out in the green. You move the profit stop up higher to ensure once the market has a big fluctuation against your trade, you get profit stopped out at that higher price instead of giving back the majority of your gains. And we quickly add to winners when we're up like 5, 10, 15, 20%, because when we win, we tend to be up a lot, 100% plus to multiple 100% plus, and every single week, 1,000% plus gains, right? So by adding to the winners, it doubles to triples the gains. And we don't add to losers because if we're wrong about a trade and we add to a loss, it creates a bigger loss. But if we add to a win and set a profit stop, it's impossible to go green to red and we increase the winnings. And in terms of the losses, what you need to understand is we don't use stop losses. The max risk per trade is what we put into the trade. 7 out of 10 of our trades, in terms of the ones that go down 50% plus, come back to life because we trade the trend. And we go far out of the money, but not far out enough to where it can't come back to life and go deeper in the money. So what you need to understand is when we are down on a play, we rarely ever sell for a loss, and we don't use stop losses because it comes back to life and goes green 7 out of 10 times. And sometimes out of those 7, 10 times, it's going to be a massive fucking win. And sometimes out of those 7, 10 times, we're going to buy another strike, trade with the trend. It's going to be timed perfectly, unlike the last one was, and they're both going to fucking print. So we've traded the best system with far out of the money zero-day option contracts. If you're serious about learning how to trade zero-day option contracts, if you're serious about getting involved with trading alongside this system, because I'm telling you, this is the best real-time zero-day options trading alert system. If you're looking for the best trades in the market that reflect the best trading alert system within the market, this is it. It's the first link down below within the description. You are not going to be able to find a better real-time zero-day options trading alert system within the market. If you're not only looking for the best trades within the market, but the best system. You understand our trades are backed by a fucking system. Cheap, low-risk asset class, far out of the money zero-day options. Part of the system is adding to winners, setting profit stops, moving the profit stops up higher. Part of the system is holding the plays that drop 50% instead of setting stop losses because they come back to life 7 out of 10 times. Why would we try to sell 3 out of those 10 times when we could just hold 7 out of those 10 times and they're going to be winners, right? And sometimes they're going to be massive fucking winners. And you're going to see on dead plays, next trade we tend to take tends to be a massive win time perfectly if the first one wasn't. So if you're serious about printing at the speed of fucking light and making money non-fucking stop and learning and trading alongside us, is going to be the first link down below within the description. Like I said, man, my trades are trades. They print non-stop. Look at this. We had a member. He took the trade on calls. He did 6150 SPX. He did the SPX 6150 calls in at 280 out at 400 contract. He took that trade, made a $1,200 profit. This happens all the time. It's a monthly recurring subscription. Vast majority of the members, our retention rate is 90%. Only 10% of our customers leave every single month. 90% choose to stay every single month because not only do we win and print non-fucking stop at the speed of light, We have the best system. We have the strongest secured private organization community within the market who trades far out of the money zero-day option contracts. And people are dedicated to trading alongside that and to leveling up together. You know, it's very, very rare to not only have access to a real-time zero-day options trading alert system, because at the end of the day, within this system, we could make it where it is just a system and there is no community. That is something that we can do if we want to with our business, but we also choose to give people the opportunity to have a community, to have a network, to have a secure private network where you can trade alongside the system, you can chat alongside the system, you can trade and chat alongside me and G-Roar, and you know, you can network within the members of the community. There's many multimillionaires inside of Team Roar. There's hundreds of members who've been with us for over 2 years, and you're gonna see it's unlimited fucking printing, and it's unlimited fucking printing nonstop. So you join our community, I'm going to be introducing you to multimillionaires. You're gonna see within the market, you're gaining access to multimillionaires. You're gaining access to a real-time zero-day option trading alert system. You're gaining access to a strong, dedicated network, hundreds of traders who've been with us for a very, very long time, and you're gonna see a lot of these traders are on a very high level. And if you fuse with the right trader, that connection, that relationship, that network, it can level you up a lot. So if you are serious about making money, gaining access to the best real-time zero-day options trading alert system, gaining access to our trades, gaining access to our real-time secured private organization, our network, gaining access to the chat, is the first link down below within the description. You're gonna absolutely love it. You're gonna learn a lot from it. And you're gonna see, I'm telling you, it gets very, very real. This is the fucking truth, man. And you're gonna find out as well if trading's for you. Trading is not for everyone. Our format is not going to work for everyone. But for the ones who it does work for, it fucking works. And they choose to stay because not only do they see the value in it, but they get results. There's one thing to see the value in something and to push towards it and to level up and become better. And then there's another thing as well where you're getting amazing results within that as well. You're getting, you know, everything in a sense. So it's the first link down below within the description. If you are serious about trading alongside us, we are going to absolutely fucking crush it this week. You're gonna see, man, this is gonna be an amazing fucking week. And I'm telling you, this is the fucking time to join. Because look at this, man. I'm telling you, I've seen this before. I've seen these patterns. I've seen these trends before. I'll be very honest with you. The market's going to be having massive fucking moves. This is going to be a phenomenal week, pushing for new all-time highs, massive fucking moves here. It's going to be a fucking phenomenal week. It's going to be a legendary fucking week, man. It's going to be one of those type of weeks where it's not going to happen again until a very, very long time. It's going to be very rare. It's going to be a very rare, very sacred type of week, man. And if you're interested in being a part of that and learning and growing and trading alongside us, I'm giving you the opportunity. The invite is the first link down below in the description. You can join us if you're serious about trading alongside with us, making the investment within to yourself. It is the first link down below within the description. I'm telling you, if you join our network, you're going to love it, you're going to experience it, and you're going to grow, you're going to trade, you're going to learn alongside us. You're going to see, man, like the people I'm going to be introducing you to and the trades that we make and the systems that we have. Like this trade on NQ, $2,800 profit. You know how many people come in here and make back the cost of the monthly subscription, the total of that for a year? They do that on their first day. So many people do that on their first day, on their first week. They can literally stay here for an entire year. I told you, there's a strong reason why people don't fucking leave. I mean, if they were to fucking leave, the main reason for them to leave is if they genuinely just don't need this anymore, or if they quit fucking trading, because they're having days and weeks where they make back the cost of the whole fucking year, put that aside, start with your small account, keep on fucking trading, build it all fucking back up. It's like, there's no reason to fucking leave. This is why they fucking stay. The value is here. The results are here. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's not just the trades, but you're not going to find a better system. That's the main point that I want to address. You're not going to find a better system. With what I'm showing you, this right here, you will not be able to find this anywhere else. 6160 SPX calls for 70 cents. They went to $1,400 a contract. You're not going to be able to find that anywhere fucking else. My trade on SPX before that, I bought earlier when contracts were higher and didn't go as far out as money. I was in at fucking 250. I sold at 350 on fucking G-Roar's trade. Fucking in at 70. Fucking in at 1420. Best fucking system, man. You guys are well aware my system is more focused on building educational systems. But in terms of the trades that G-Roar has been putting out, they're the most far out of the money. They're the most far out of the money. They're the cheapest, lowest risk trades. And it's a fucking, you're not going to find any systems like ours. Mine's more education, curricular system, less trades. G-Roar's system, it's the absolute best for cheap, low risk, far out of the money, 0-day option contracts. And you're going to see the fucking results, the fucking gains. Is the best dynamic duo. So is the first thing down below within the description. If you're serious about trading alongside us, growing with us, getting results, I'm fucking telling you, man, the community, the trades, the system, you're not going to be able to find anything else like this within the market. I mean, if you're interested in trading within the market and getting experience, it should genuinely be a requirement for everyone to join Team Roar and to experience it for themselves, you know, because it's worth it. It's worth to experience it and to see if that format is for you. You're going to see, man, we have many traders who get results and print non-fucking stop. Look, this just goes to show, like, this is what I'm talking about. We have a trade right here, 98% loss, down 200 in this situation. And then we have a trade right here, up $315. Like, just the trade, they always, the losses in the end always outweigh the wins because the percentage gains that we add to winners. 6170 SPX puts, 951% profit return on these fucking puts. G-Roar's trade, fucking, we got in at 70, it went to 1440. You genuinely have to ask yourself, where are you not only finding information like this and opportunities like this, but where are you finding trades like this, a group like this? It does not fucking exist, you know? And we're well aware that stuff like this does not, it's not even supposed to exist in a Discord server, but that's where it's at right now. You know, we're aware of that. But like I said, you know, we do want to have the community as well. It doesn't just have to be this system where we could take, you know, this system off Discord. We can have the community, and we decided, you know, we have the community with it as well. You know, it's strong enough to just have the system, but we do have the community feature as well. And that's, you know, in Discord in a sense, it gives people access to that community. So, you know, we've chosen to give people access to not only the trades and the alert system, but to build the community alongside the system. You can ask questions and chat alongside us, stuff like that. But you're going to see, man, our group's fucking amazing. It's unlimited fucking winning, unlimited fucking printing. And it's a very strong foundation. It's the best foundation to be trading within the market. It's you can be successful with the lowest win rate, and we have the highest win rate trading far the money 0-day options. And you're going to see our fucking trades, our analysis, everything we do. It's fucking amazing. So is the first thing down below in the description if you want to gain access. With that being said, I will see you guys within the chat.